Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
We're cousins. All right. So today we have a very, very special episode. So we're kind of going to get right to this, but this is episode 187. But what is going on today? We're really going to get into the beer and pizza of all this. So there's not going to be any us bullshitting too much around.
We're only doing Smith Savant.
That's how you'd have it, Lowry.
No, that's not true. So we have been lucky enough to be in contact with the Efren and Ted at Cardsphere, and they were generous enough with their time that we got to kind of hang out with them. I mean, for an hour.
Yeah.
And we've pre-recorded it, and so just kind of talking about Cardsphere, all the benefits of it. I'm clearly kind of slurring and drunk. So
this is our number. Let's see. We recorded with them first at 8:30. So that's 4 hours ago. Yeah, you can imagine
4
how many
hours ago.
What are you still
5.
drinking?
I'm going to be so gouty tomorrow.
What are you drinking? I'm drinking a Guinness.
I am drinking a Mango and Stash IPA from Hot Valley out of Eugene, Oregon, and it's very tasty. I like it quite a bit.
Yep, I'm having my Guinness from last week. It's still the same one. It's a week old. It's pretty gross. It's
super flat.
It's
flatter than flat.
Yeah.
Normal Guinness is not carbonated. It's just so flat.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to really pussyfoot around too much. We're just going to get right to it because it's a long-ass interview because we had a good time with those guys, and you're going to learn some stuff with Cardsphere. I learned some things, and I'm going to be probably using Cardsphere with a lot of my cards. Not the stuff necessarily on eBay, but I did learn something that I didn't know what's going to be happening in 2023 with if you sell on eBay or TCG. Little spoiler alert, foreshadowing.
Wait until later on, in the episode and the conversation.
Good one.
Oh, good. Hello, boobies.
Hold on.
True story, bro.
Yeah, just hit all your buttons. There you go.
That's
the one you were looking for.
I'm trying to avoid nerd.
Yeah, nerd. Ah!
There's
I've had to turn that down so much on the YouTube.
It's loud. It's aggressive.
So we're gonna get right into things. We will still have a Stump the Smith. I haven't been drinking either. Stump the Smith Savant week 3. So this week is Sir Chancelot.
Sir Charles.
Sir Chancelot 007. Larry did not get stumped last week, so that's what this week is. We are not going to reveal the results from Staple Versus because we don't know. We're double recording.
But I'm going to guess that one
that
did win.
That's a good card, probably won. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys can become a patron if you donate $1 or more. That gets you into the Discord and allows you to chat with the Discord, chat with us, play games when games get started up again here in the fall, winterish. But $5 or more gets you the proxy of the week. Each month you will get to choose, depending on what level you are, for how many proxies that happened that month and the month before. If you're $100 or more, you get to choose any proxy each month during that time from the entire list of proxy of the week. The free way to support the show is to jump on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. That is number one, what you do. Then what you do is you watch our videos. One of the videos would be Curated MTG. We don't know what that was unless you want to predict which one we were going to... Why don't you pick one of those ones that you had there? One.
Backdraft Hellkite.
Backdraft Hellkite. I don't even, what's that one do?
It being
tell me.
Weird?
No. Tell me.
All right, whenever the dragon attacks, it gives all of your instants and sorceries flashback from the graveyard.
Oh, yes, that one.
The card is bonkers.
Yeah.
And it's not played enough. It's super cheap. And it goes great in a ton of decks. So play it more.
Get that number up and play it more. So yeah, check out Curated.
I spec'd on it.
Yeah, that's play it a lot more, all of you.
Go
and
buy more.
Buy them for all your decks, even if you don't have that color in there. So you can check that out. Best thing to do is you watch the video, and the next best thing you do is like the video. Watch and like. The other videos you can watch is Proxy Time. I do that Proxy Time live, design proxies, and that's the stuff you can choose from if you're a part of the Discord. I don't know what I made. Maybe it was a duel. Maybe it was a fetch, because those are due. I need to finish off that set. So
'tis true.
Whatever it is, it's popping up right now for you on YouTube. You can also see our faces if you jump on YouTube, and our guests that are coming up in a little bit. If you jump on YouTube, you can see us all on there, see all the cards we talk about. Everything we discuss will pop up there. And then you guys can check us out on Twitter. That is where you can see everything that we talk about here, or advertise or whatever for, like, hey, this video is coming up or is out. We pop it up there. You can see Mail Day. You can see Cardsphere, Mail Day stuff. You can see... No, we don't even do not share with Adam. But you can direct message us there, or if you need a suggestion or if you have a suggestion for Stump the Smith Savant, don't do it there. Email us at CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. Adam's eyes only, so Larry can't cheat. All right. Now...
True story, bro.
You were waiting for that? You were waiting for that?
I looked at the card. Finger on button.
Finger on button like this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. It is everyone's favorite game show.
I can believe at least 3 people like it.
All right, so if you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card. Larry's going to try to guess what that card is. He has 3 clues he will get. He will ask yes or no questions. He has 5 chances. If he gets 5 wrong, he loses, and our stumper will win whatever the ante is. Every time he asks a yes or no question, if he gets it right, he will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
If he gets it wrong, he will hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
This week, like I said, it is Sir Chancelot 007 from the Discord who has given me this card. All right, here we go. You ready? Only
all right.
the Cabal can make a fight to the death more deadly. Oh, and by the way, Esper Sentinel is the card, the ante that is up for grabs if you can stump Lowry. So only the Cabal could make a fight to the death more deadly.
Phyrexian Arena.
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Oh, you fucking kidding me?
wrong.
Damn it. Okay, I know
One
it.
wrong.
I know this one.
You were cocky as hell.
I
right
was
there.
so
You were
confident
like,
in that
Fuck
one.
yeah, mic drop. Now that
Shit.
when I edit back, I'm gonna just see your cocky face, just like, I got this.
I got this. You kept talking. I wanted to just do it. Okay. All right. Only the Cabal can make
a fight to the death more deadly.
Oh, no. Okay, I got it. It's a red card. It is Gratuitous Violence.
Hello, boobies.
Look at you. Look at you.
Got it.
Wow, that was quick. That's like your sex
Got it.
life. Whoa.
But more enjoyable. So I'm sorry. I love you, hon.
Hello, boobies.
That's what you're saying. Hello, boobies. Oh, that was fantastic. All right, so that was week 3. If we go another week without you getting stumped, we add to the ante. So
I expected to get stumped right there because I'm kind of drunk. So
I
definitely knew that
I like
one.
how cocky you were in that first one. You're like,
I know. I swear I thought it was Phyrexian Arena, but it totally makes sense.
yeah. The clues was features 2 men with weapons for hands fighting in a coliseum. And I wrote did you know this? Caught a reprint in the D&D Commander decks.
I believe so.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. And then I put in text features doubling. So the doubling damage. Fun stuff. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that was that. Now we are going to jump into our interview with Efren and Ted about Cardsphere. We have super special guests this week. We are joined by the fellows at Cardsphere. And first of all, I should introduce you guys first. So we have Efren here. Say hi, Efren.
Hello, glad to be here.
And then also Ted. Ted is joining us from Cardsphere.
Hey, folks.
I do have to give you guys this.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
So if you guys don't know, that's Lowry's son doing our little welcome to the meat forest. But so you guys are here, you're joining us. You guys are going to explain to us what is Cardsphere? I mean, how does this all work? Everything. We have questions. Lowry's been using this for how long, Lowry? I mean, you've been going on...
at least 3 years at this point, and it's been 3.5 probably. But yeah, I love the service. I talk about it all the time. Hopefully, people I know on our Discord, people have really enjoyed getting into Cardsphere, and you guys have been super nice and contacting. I think you guys have given us the premium membership for talking, having people join and stuff like that, which has been nice. And so I'm really excited to have you guys here because I really like Cardsphere a lot. So it'll be great to hear more about it and stuff.
Hey,
So-
thanks so much.
Yeah,
We're
first
happy
off,
to
I
be
guess
here.
you guys explain who you guys are and basically how you guys got into Magic, when you guys started and all that, kind of just a background of each of you guys here.
Okay, I
Efren,
guess
would you
I'll
like to
yeah.
go first?
Oh yeah,
I'll start.
I guess I didn't throw it to either one of you. I just kind of left it open and then you both fight over it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
So,
we dance.
yeah. Who's going first?
okay. Well, I'm Efren. I'm in Texas. I'm the only American member of the Cardsphere team. My other two
Mhm.
business partners are in Canada. I started playing Magic back in right around Avison Restored. Was when I started
Okay.
playing. My nephews got me into it.
Nice.
And yeah, I knew about it in high school and all that, and I had this thing where like I'm nerdy. I read comics and I like Star Wars. I'm into computers, but I'm not that nerdy. I'm not like that guy.
Yeah.
Turns out I am that guy. Yeah, I was in denial. Once my nephews actually got me to try it, and I didn't really understand it. And
Nobody
there was
does.
this, yeah,
we
there was
still
this,
don't.
there was this kid that used to sit in front of me and in English, and his name was Nereo Lopez, and he's actually a Magic judge now, and he was always telling me about it. And
Wow.
I was like, well, tell me how it works, right? And he explained it like a real romanticized version of Magic. He's like, these are your lands, and you need these lands. The lands you visit means you can cast spells. I was like, I don't get that at all. It wasn't until my nephews explained to me that it's just mana. And I was like, oh, well, that's way easier than the last person that tried to explain it. So
it
then,
sounds
yeah.
like I totally understand why you're saying like I'm not that nerdy. Well, there are varying levels of nerdiness in Magic as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah, I think my last holdout with nerdiness is I'm not really into anime. I'm kind of flirting with it. That's like the last holdout, and then I'm just like full blown nerd. Like I'll just do anything nerdy. So
What animes are you? Do you know what animes you want to watch or like entice you?
my wife is big into anime, so she
Okay.
the very first one I watched. I guess I've probably seen other animes, but she got me to watch what's the one with the witch.
With the witch.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know a ton of them. I know
Kiki's
a
Delivery
few-
Service. Kiki's Delivery Service.
I've never I don't know that one.
I've never even heard of that one.
You never heard of Kiki's Delivery Service?
No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Enjoyable?
Very nice. Yeah, I really liked it.
Okay.
And then I watched God, and I can't remember the name. The one where they put Scarlett Johansson in the movie. What's the
Ghost in the
Ghost
Shell.
in the Shell? Yeah, I watched Ghost
Yeah.
in the Shell. That was pretty good. And then I watched, which I really liked, was Cowboy Bebop, because one of our
I've
cards
heard a lot of that. Like,
he sent it to me on Blu-ray, and I like that one. That one is just like super cool. So
is it
Seems
okay?
sweet.
yeah, so I've seen a little bit of it, but I'm not that into it yet. But I can tell that, like, I bought Akira, and everyone tells me like that's the gateway drug. Like once you watch that, you're gonna be into anime. So I've had it for like several months, and I'm just like looking at it like, I don't have time to get into something else right now.
Yeah, we're making sure Efren has enough time to consume Sandman before it comes. To,
Yeah, I'm reading Sandman.
Netflix, so
Sandman's fantastic.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it so far. Yeah.
yeah, I've been checking in with Efren like first thing in the morning every morning, where did you get to? Where did
Yeah.
you get to? So,
I'm very like anti spoiler of anything. So I always say I like to be unsullied. Like movies, I don't even like to have seen a trailer.
Yeah, I know.
I just want to see the name of the movie and who's in it, and I'm sold. I don't even need to know who's in it.
Right.
Which
Yeah,
is
sometimes
why
I do
we're
that.
A horrible buddy movie because I have the biggest mouth in the universe. You know, and when I love stuff, I'm really enthusiastic and want to share about it. So, like, not saying stuff to Efren about Sandman is really hard.
He's very exuberant about stuff that he likes. I think the best example of me not wanting to know anything is, and we're getting way off Magic here, but
Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it.
We don't. My wife and I, she would get so annoyed because we go to the movies and they spoil the trailers are ridiculous. So anytime a trailer's coming out for a movie I want to see, I would cover my ears and I would like hum, and she's like, "Shut up! What are you doing?" Like, I don't want to know anything. So I would always do that with Marvel movies and Star Wars. And so when we went to go see Spider-Man: Homecoming, and if you're unsullied, then don't listen to what I'm about to say. We're walking into the theater and there's this giant cutout of Jake Gyllenhaal wearing the Mysterio outfit, and I'm like, and I look and I go, what stupid movie is he in now? I go, look at this guy. I was telling my wife, I go, how bad is this movie going to be? I had no idea he was in Spider-Man.
The movie we're going to.
That's funny.
Amazing. So my gateway anime, and I'm assuming Ted has watched this as well, but that is Death Note.
No,
I've never heard of it.
I highly suggest it. Our cousin Jesse got me into it decade plus ago. Really cool idea. Like, a demon drops a book. No spoilers.
Okay.
Check it out. Just check it out.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
really
book.
cool.
Okay.
You can't do that.
So
He's going to be on.
It's
the
hard.
ground.
It's hard. Yeah.
Is that a series?
I have to cover
or is
these
that a
and these
movie?
ears.
It's only like 2 seasons.
Okay.
So and it doesn't go further. And it's really cool, like, idea thinking. I enjoyed. That's what got me into it. I'm not like big time into anime, but I do enjoy like the bigger ones, I guess, the ones that show up on Netflix and stuff like that.
So
But
like the only introduction that I have to anime is Princess Mononoke, and that's
good.
I love that one so much, but that's just a movie. So I've never done like a series or anything like that. So
yeah, the movies I know, the Miyazaki ones, I know pretty well.
Those are.
I
mean,
don't
his stuff
think
is
I've ever seen it.
Yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service is a Miyazaki one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ted, what animes do you like?
Here is your anime podcast.
Just the Miyazaki. That's really it.
Cool. So, Adam, you do your spiel. You're good at it.
You're fine, Ted. Well,
I'm drinking a beer.
I'm drinking a beer. Well, Ted, why don't you give us a little background of you? Oh, really quick, Efren, I did want to ask you this before we jump over to Ted here. What's your favorite format in Magic?
The only format I play now is Commander. I played Standard when I first started, and I tell the story anytime everybody asks me. I was a fool. I played Standard, and everybody would tell me, well, your cards aren't going to be worth anything after rotation. I didn't fully understand what that meant. So I had like 4 different Standard decks. And I was like, what do you mean Huntmaster of the Fells isn't going to be $35 forever?
Right.
Like, and I was like, I'm not getting rid of this card. And it rotated. All my decks rotated, and I was devastated. And then right after that, I discovered Commander, and then I just that's pretty much all I've played since. I played Arena a little bit, and then got annoyed with the price model, and then so I pretty much just only play Commander now.
Yeah. Okay. That's the right answer.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Once you play Commander, nothing else compares.
Exactly.
It's hard.
It's such a good game for. I mean, that's why I have a podcast about it. I don't even need to explain it. That's.
I think it's okay. I enjoy Commander sometimes.
I prefer Modern, honestly. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Ted, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How did you get into Magic? And what's your favorite format?
I'm from Ottawa, Canada, where I live along with our other partner, Michael, who does all the development for Cardsphere, whereas Efren and I run it. I don't live with Michael. We just both live in the same city.
It's okay if you do. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Yeah.
So I've been playing Magic actually since Revised.
Nice.
Which was when I was maybe 21, something like that. I'm a little bit on the older end of the spectrum for Magic players, I think.
It's fine. It's
so I start-
2021. That's-
Are you just pointing out how old he is, Larry? Is that what you were just doing
Yeah,
there?
That's not.
Hey, it's
I was just
fine.
saying,
It's-
everything goes. We're fine. We're good.
really,
It's all
really
good.
old.
Yeah.
Just about, twice as old as the game.
Yeah.
But I picked it up in revised because I read about it in Games Magazine. It used to be like a board game and sort of puzzle magazine combined in one, and they would also
Okay.
cover video games a little bit. And I read this half-page review and said, "This is it. I mean, this sounds insane." I went and got my first starter pack at a hobby shop that was mostly for model trains, and that was one of the best places to buy packs in Ottawa.
That's awesome.
And I played basically played Commander before there was a Commander, so multiplayer. I guess we used to call it star format, and people would often choose like a monocolor, and you would play against your enemies, that sort of thing. And
Interesting. I haven't heard that
sitting around
before.
the table
I haven't either.
sitting around the table with 4 other guys, and not much to do in the summer. We were kind of young bummy kids, did a lot of drinking, a lot of playing Magic,
Lucky.
go out to the bar, come back,
Play more
little
Magic, a
table
little more
flips because
inebriated.
people are drunk,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And then eventually I stopped playing the game. I took a really long hiatus. We sold out of our cards, all of our duels, all that stuff, to buy headsets so that we could play Halo together.
Ah.
In my Magic playing crew, we switched to Halo.
That makes sense, though.
And then after, around the time that Innistrad was releasing, sort of late Scars block kind of thing, I came back to the game through Duels of the Planeswalkers on the Xbox. And also some close friends had kids that were getting to be the age where we wanted to introduce some fun, cool games when we went on vacation. So we bought like the Deck Builders Toolkit. I started playing and started teaching my friends that didn't know how to play from before. Turned out there was someone who had played on the Pro Tour at my work.
Wow.
Oh,
Then I
geez.
discovered
Wow.
a few more players and developed into having, sort of 2 play groups. One, this super intense, spiky, combo-rific play group that were really intense and really invested in the game. And then all my, drunk pothead friends who just want to play Commander and get messed up, and people, whose turn is it, that sort of thing.
Oh man, that drive me
and,
nuts. Whose turn
That
is
sounds
it?
like a really healthy addiction to me. So
Yeah.
So I just fell into it, and I liked the trading, but I've got that sort of, maybe it's not a well-known typical Canadian thing, but a bartering kind of makes a lot of Canadians uncomfortable with, you've heard the
Minnesotans
I'm
too.
sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I guess I'm apologizing. So a lot of us find it uncomfortable to trade. And I was using Deckbox, and I love Deckbox as a site. I think Seb makes an amazing product, but the constant haggling with people,
Yeah.
and everyone trying to get their leg up on the other person and trying to take the advantage in the trade, and it just really felt bad, right? And then I was
This is a great
listening to,
segue.
Yeah, I know.
Great
You're like
segue.
you're
fantastic.
segueing yourself to what we were about to talk about. That's awesome.
so
So we
I
don't
was
even need to kick
listening
it.
to, I was listening to the Heavy Meta podcast with Kevin Metal and Maddie Studios back in the day, and they had a lot of friends that would pop in, and I was listening to it, and they started talking about Cockatrice and this amazing new trading site, and I got on board and I loved it, and I was a really invested trader on that system, and it was fantastic. And then they let it all fall apart, and I wanted to keep doing it. So
You're stealing like my talking points for you, because this is exactly what I was gonna get at, like all this stuff. 'Cause-
Okay, yeah. Let's get into this.
I can slow down and shut up.
No, you're
I told
totally
you I
fine.
talk long.
You're
This,
killing
you're
it
making
right
this.
now.
You're making this easy. I don't even
Yeah.
have to go over like try to do a transition or anything.
Right.
But that's how
Right.
my as people know from our podcast, I sell. I do eBay, but I did do back in the day puka trade. Like that
Yeah.
was where I would dump my cards that were like $5 and under, like
Cards that you
eBay.
can sell on eBay, basically.
Right. Get rid of them and, save a bunch of money and then get a big card for that. About the
Right.
time Lowry and I were doing that, the first, probably 6 months, maybe, we were getting
What's fantastic.
good
Yeah, I
trades.
really enjoyed
like we were
Puka
getting
Trade.
stuff back, and then it just went, just
Yeah.
crashed. You couldn't get crap. The
You
only
had
thing
to like overpay for a ton
Everything.
of stuff.
yeah, like 150%,
paying
200%.
$10 for basic lands, the full art basic lands from
Yeah.
unsets. Like it was getting a little wild out there. And
Yeah.
that's like I went from Puka Trade. Adam stopped trading altogether. I went on to deck box and I enjoyed it, but like what you're saying, like there is a lot of haggling and it's really time consuming.
Yes.
And sometimes you can just kind of go through and like when you're doing that kind of thing at a LGS or on deck box or that style of trading,
Yeah.
it is time consuming. And me as a dad, like I just don't have that time. Like and with Cardsphere, it's just really passive. And
Right.
every card I've ever gotten or given, I don't feel bad about it.
Right.
And
you
because there
choose
isn't that
when.
haggling. Yep.
Yeah, you choose when you're investing the time. It sounds like you and I enjoy it for the same reason, right?
Yeah.
I have kids, I've got a lot of responsibilities, and I am not well suited to putting a store up on eBay or TCG
Exactly.
Player, because someone can just then all of a sudden, I've got to pack 20 orders tonight and drive my kid to swimming. Right?
Oh, you're talking about what my day is tomorrow. Just kidding. Like that's what it's mentally in my head. I'm like, oh, after we're done with the cast, I got to put all these orders together and send those out. But explain kind of you guys what Cardsphere is all about, because right after Puka Trade kind of crashed and did its thing, shortly after that is when we kind of heard about you guys. And at that point I was still selling eBay. Puka was more to get rid of my lower stuff.
Right.
But then I just cut all the low stuff out and I just stayed with eBay. But Lowry, we heard about it and Lowry jumped on board and you were in it quick. Like you understood it within weeks of us hearing about it. I actually heard it from Saffron Olive from MTG, Goldfish. So we heard it from him. From a podcast, I just heard him say, Cardsphere is actually kind of a cool site. If you liked Puka, blah, 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 blah.
And this is what 3.5-ish years
It was
ago
right when we
at this
started the
point.
cast. And so we talked about it on the cast and Larry the next week was in it. And he's like, dude, Puka Trade is dead. That was not it. Cardsphere is really good. Like,
Yeah.
I've already gotten this, and this, and this. And I was like, really? Like, and then each week he just kept having more. And I think we even might have done a segment on Cardsphere early on.
Oh, we definitely have.
Yeah.
We've definitely talked about it at least 2-3 times, like specific segments about it.
But I guess the big thing is like, what do you guys do? Like, what is the site? How does it all work? Just the basics, so people know. So while we're talking about this, what's happening with this site? It's not you're not selling your cards on there. This is a trading site kind of thing, right?
Well, a lot of people use Cardsphere for a lot of different models. Efren, do you think you could jump in and explain one or two of the sort of different ways people use the system?
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. If we've been talking about Puka Trade this whole time, and if you know what Puka Trade was and you remember how it worked, then you could jump right into Cardsphere. It works exactly the same way, except we use real money. There's no points.
Yeah.
That was what caused Puka Trade's collapse. So it's basically works just like that. You put in all your inventory, and then when you're ready to sell or send or trade your card away, you just hit send, and we match you with people that want those cards, and you mail them off, and then the credit for those cards get put into your account. And with that, you can choose to buy cards or you can choose to cash out and receive money for your cards via PayPal. So that's the big difference with us from Puka Trade, is that there was no way to cash out on Puka Trade. And so when it collapsed, everyone was just stuck with these useless points. And,
Right.
So we went through that, and we were all angry users on Reddit, and we just kind of grouped up together and like let's just do it. And everyone used to say and just agree that you can't do Puka Trade with real money because that's money laundering. Like everyone just said that, and it was like, what is, and I always think of, remember Office Space when they're trying to figure out how to launder the money, and the guy comes over selling magazines that are like, and they're trying to like figure out, like, they reminded me of that because everyone just kind of accepted like, oh well, you can't do that because it's money laundering, and it turns out you can do it.
Right.
So that's one way. If you're just going to trade cards for cards, if you really want to just turn your cardboard into other cardboard, then there's not a less expensive way to do it. You only
It's
ever
fantastic.
you only ever pay the 1% fee when you're sending a card, and you don't pay anything when you buy. So if you're in it just to get rid of old decks and make new decks, then no one can compete with Cardsphere at all. If you just want to sell, and Adam, I know you said you sell a lot of eBay. So before Cardsphere, I used to be into finance a little bit. I used to have a TCG Player store and an eBay store. And the eBay store and TCG Player, there's a couple big differences, and that's, you don't sell on Cardsphere until you're ready. So you go on Cardsphere and hit send, and you decide what to send. Whereas on eBay or TCG Player, you could just be sitting there on a Sunday night, and all of a sudden you got to pack up a card because you'll get an email. That happened to me all the time.
Yep, that's my every day.
A card that I listed years ago on eBay for some reason was still there, and I'll get an email and say, hey, you just sold that Tameo you had up there because the price went up, and now somebody bought it. And I was like, do I even still have the card anymore?
Yeah.
So you get to do it on your own terms.
Yeah.
That's the real big advantage. And then some people
For sure.
Also use it just as a buy list, and they don't sell on Cardsphere at all. They just put up a buy list. A lot of stores do it. A lot of local game stores will just have this buy list.
So they're putting cash into it, and then
they're putting cash in.
Somebody like me
people
would send them the card and get their credit.
Yeah, you can deposit cash in there, and then so they're depositing cash, put up a buy list, and they're just buying cards, and then they're going and selling them on a TCG Player or an eBay. And there's no charge to buy on Cardsphere. We don't even charge you a credit card fee when you deposit money via PayPal. So if you wanted to just buy cards and you didn't want to send cards at all, you just want to buy them, you just deposit money, you put the cards you want to buy, and you put the price you want to pay, and you wait for the cards to roll in. It's a good way to get a discount on cards. If a card is $10, you could put money in and say, well, I only want to pay $9 for this card.
Right.
And you'll get it because
it's all percentage based, right? Like that part where you're like, okay, yeah, like you said, the card, but I'm only going to pay 80% of that. It's all like that kind of base. Okay.
Yeah, and your offer, you get to set a limit. So if you only want to pay $10, you put a $10 limit. So if the card spikes overnight, nobody can send you a $50 card and clean out your account, because we automatically put a limit that you can then change. And conversely, awesome. Conversely, it fluctuates. So if the price drops, your offer goes down. So you end up paying less. And that's another thing with like TCG Player and eBay. It's really a race to the bottom, right? On TCG Player, if you're not on that first page, you might as well not even be selling the card. So everyone is just lowering their prices. Everyone's just lowering their prices until they show up on there, and you avoid that rat race on Cardsphere.
Right.
And one thing that you guys do really nice when we're talking about that price protection is also, if there is a card announced to be reprinted, you guys are really quick and you have like a 24-hour protection, like no trades on this card, and you can change it. You might not want the card anymore because it's going to go lower, or you're just making sure that people don't get cashed out by expensive spell skites and stuff like that, and then and I really appreciate that. I like that a lot, because I'm like, a little bit like your eBay store was like, I got that card on there. Go through. Like,
that's happened to me so many times.
My list of wants is so long on there that I'm like,
but we have a lot of those user protection things, because that's all stuff that we got burned on Puga Trade, because when your market is reversed and the seller is initiating the trade, well, then people can be predatory and dump things on people that have money in their account, right? A reprint that's going to create our price, people will try and go and just dump them, and or a spike, or we were talking about before, artificial price spikes. When that does happen on Cardsphere, it doesn't happen as often as other sites, but when it does, someone could come along and just dump a card on you. That happened to me a bunch of times back on the other
sure.
side.
Mhm.
With
And,
tokens, I
that's
think,
where I was talking about, like, I never feel bad about getting a card with your site, Cardsphere. It's just like, it just works, right?
Yeah.
Like, it just like, you're not getting screwed on the spikes, you're not getting screwed on the reprints.
Mhm.
You kind of have the percentage that fluctuates with wherever the price is. You have the price cap that you don't want to pay beyond that if there is an incredible spike and you're not ready for it. Like, there is just so much protection for the people that are passively getting it.
Mhm.
If you're not right on top of spoilers, you're not going to get screwed. And that's
Yeah,
where I'm like, it's just a really good experience.
yeah, good. I'm glad you experienced that. And
Hearing that sort of thing from our users, it's really invigorating, because it's a tough thing to do, run all aspects of the business with 3 people at it. Even though we do get lots of help from the community, but it's important to us that there's fairness built in for everyone, and that's a remarkably challenging problem on the internet. There's a lot of different personalities involved. You have people that are sending because it's fun and it's part of the game for them, right?
Yeah.
And they don't care so much about maximizing value. But on the other hand, you have people that are serious finance people that are running their businesses and trying to move their business over all the way into Cardsphere and operate totally through that way. And we have to find the right sweet spot to make sure that there's fairness for senders, fairness for the buyers, and that we catch and remove bad actors very, very quickly. And this is one of the reasons why Efren and I ourselves handle every single customer service aspect of the company. So we look at every dispute between users, and at every stage where that has seemed like we're beginning to go underwater from the amount of customer service, we've gone back to Michael, who is a brilliant problem solver, and he'll give us the tools to allow us to address more people more quickly and multiply our efforts. So
awesome.
We really like that. And anyone who's dealing with Magic via the mail needs to know that there is a reality of bad actors out there, and that's both as buyers and sellers. But with 4 years experience dealing with all kinds of disputes and seeing all kinds of situations, Efren and I are pretty on top of the signs for catching the bad actors, and we take it very seriously to remove them from the system very quickly.
And that's the awesome part, is we talked about it pre-cast here, but a little bit, but it's just you 3 that are running this whole thing. Like, that's insane.
Which
that
is
it's
crazy. Yeah, that's insane.
Like, it's a well-running site. Like, you guys have nice.
You got
tutorial.
that button? You got that button for clapping?
I do. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, I clap when I hear other people clap.
But seriously, you guys, you have you 3 running it. You have the tutorial videos on there as well. I was looking at those earlier. Like, those are fantastic too for people that really want to learn each part of it. If you wanted to sell or trade your stuff, if you were trying to get stuff, great videos, good tools on there as well. Like, this is just, you guys have a well-running machine there. I like it a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
So with the tutorials, here's a question that I have is, what is some of the best advice you would want to give to somebody new coming to Cardsphere, and something that you see experienced? What experience?
Me.
Yeah, somebody like Adam. What would you give them advice to do to start and be comfortable with it? And then I got a follow up, but let's. Well,
I think Adam is already ahead of the game, because almost nobody reads anything or watches anything that we put up there. So by having watched the tutorials, he's already miles ahead of what most people are. That's been the most frustrating thing for us, is we have tutorials, we have FAQs and all this stuff, and we have pinned things in our Discord and in our subreddit, and people just ignore all that, and they come in and ask the basic questions. So really the tutorials explain how, the hardest part that people have trouble grasping is how it works. They'll sign up for it and they don't understand why nothing's happening. It's reverse of every other market. So really the best advice is to watch the tutorials to learn how it actually works. And everyone who can get past that seems to really, really not just have success, but a lot of people like it. They get excited when they get a mail. They say, "Oh, what card is that? Oh, I'm getting that card."
Yeah, it's fun.
And it is fun to
the job done, but it's still fun.
Mm.
If I can add something to what Efren said, for someone like Adam that's used to other marketplaces and pretty much knows the game and knows what they want to get out of the system, one of the most valuable things you can do is join our Discord community, because that's all of the whales on the site are in our Discord, and also all of the sort of heavy users and the entrenched people. We've got an unbelievable mod team who help us with.
I got a heroin heavy usage. It's when I'm putting the kids to bed, I would sit down, like it's generally like 20-30 minutes outside of the room, and I'm just going through Cardsphere. It is addicting for me because like things change so fast. It's when somebody puts something up, it can show up if you have a large array of cards that you're willing to send. And so like for me, I'm always seeing something different like 3 times a day. And so I can just be like, oh, that's new, cool. And then I can send, like, I'm definitely not one of the whales per se. Like when I look at the top leaders and how much money is being sent and how many packages, but it's enough to keep me occupied. And if not more, that's why it's even more impressive that it's just you 3 managing the whole site, and I can barely manage my trading stuff. So, but yeah, I'll be checking out the Discord here soon. I didn't even.
Cool.
Dude, absolutely, anyone should. As far as saving time, this is if I could coin, Rodney's razor, it would be that I made or as part of the team to make Cardsphere because I really wanted to get my time back for trading, right? I didn't want trading to take this time. And now I have no time for trading.
Yeah.
Right. I can't pull cards to send out orders because I've got to edit articles or
I feel you, man.
load up ratings on the draft simulator, which is another one of our products. So beyond a marketplace, we also try to put out remarkable content, and we've been lucky enough to work with content creators of all sizes and some really amazing people. And then we also have a draft simulator which we built rather than going with a sponsorship of like someone else's draft simulator. We decided to build our own because we didn't want a draft simulator experience filled with ads and with pop-ups bugging people to put in their emails and stuff.
Yeah,
none of which I was aware of. I just made the suggestion to Efren, maybe we should sponsor this. I use this guy's draft simulator every time a new set comes out. And Efren goes and sees the Viagra like banner. What are you talking about?
Are those targeted ads though? I don't know.
Not for me. No.
So okay, and one thing that I just saw that you kind of made an announcement. What is your connection with a lot of chatter on our Discord for YouTube? But I hate your deck. What you guys are now that's being featured on the Cardsphere front page. I noticed that. Are you guys like sponsoring them? Is there like a partnership? What is going on there then?
Well, I Hate Your Deck, we were their first sponsor.
You were their first sponsor.
Yeah,
okay, very cool.
So we sponsored, we started paying attention to them, and I mostly act as the influencer manager at Cardsphere, and this was something that me and Ted had both just come across it, and we were looking at it, and we said, hey, look at this show. These guys are pretty good, and they had a couple thousand followers, and
cool.
Let's keep an eye on them. And then one of their guests that was on one of their first episodes is actually one of our top users on the site.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
And so he was on the show, and then he told them, you guys got to reach out to Cardsphere, and see if you can get some kind of sponsorship going. And we said, well, we just so happen to be talking about it, but so it's harder for us to sponsor creators because when you're talking about other places like a TCG Player or a Channel Fireball or pretty much anyone else, they don't pay. They don't actually pay. They give people a code to use, and they say, well, tell your listeners to use this code, and then if they remember to use the code when they check out, then we'll give you a percentage of that sale. Well, Cardsphere doesn't do that. We just pay money. We say, here's your show, we can offer you this much every month, and we're you don't have to give us referral clicks, people don't have to use a code, you just have this money coming to you every month. But our size, sometimes it's better for bigger content creators to use the code because they'll just get more money. So I Hate Your Deck was we were the first sponsor, and then like many of the creators we sponsor, once they reach a certain level, here comes other places and they say, hey, we'll give you that code, and they get enticed by the code, and then they go and leave. And that happened to them a couple months ago, and unfortunately they left and had a lot of reasons to want to come back. So they reached out to us last week and they said, hey, we've grown quite a bit since you left, and we have something really cool coming out. We happen to have record some matches with Post Malone. They haven't gone live yet. Would you like to?
That's awesome.
We would love for Cardsphere's name to be on it, and we were more than happy to welcome them back and do it. And it's been really great. We were super excited.
And we got to encourage Joseph. If you look at the early videos, Joseph or Black Nito was he had a rant originally about don't buy your cards from these giant corporate retailers, and we noticed the first time they produced a video for us,
they took that out,
not for us, but a video that was sponsored, that they removed that, and we were like, oh man, that sucks. So when they came back to us with this opportunity to re-sponsor them for the Post Malone show, we were like, could you put that back in?
And they're like, oh yeah, we forgot about that, let's put it back in. But I think by design, not really by design, but it's not accidental that a lot of people think Cardsphere is bigger than it is. A lot of people are shocked to know that it's just 3 people.
We were
running. It's just 3 people running part-time, because we do a lot of things to appear bigger than we are. So a lot of people are surprised. So we thought it was funny that he took out, don't buy from these big corporate stores. And we're like, do they think we're this big corporation? Cardsphere, you're buying from other people. You're buying from other people, right? You're buying from local game stores. So we don't have a warehouse or there's no Cardsphere Direct, or anything like that.
So, and that's one of the things that make it feel bigger is that you guys are kind of like in every country, or like have some type of thing. Like they're fully Europe, and I've gotten cards from, I think I got cards from Afghanistan last year. Like it was crazy. And so it was just kind of like, how do you manage the foreign stuff, the foreign markets? Like do foreign cards get traded at all, like at a margin? Like I'm assuming that a lot of your action is in the United States.
But right. The largest sort of sub community is in the United States, and it's really the United States market that we monitor for pricing. So we don't actually adjust pricing for anyone in the UK. We don't monitor Magic Card Market or anything like that for any pricing. But the thing is, because people can make all their offers based on percentages, everyone has the opportunity to sort of self-correct, right? And so
that's true.
I think that, the sort of prevailing wisdom is the goofier your country's postal system is, the sort of a little more gravy you have to add on the top, right? So if you're in Brazil and you want someone to send you a package, you probably have to pay a little bit more than someone in the United States does. And I mean, this is even true for a lot of people, for Canadians, right? Because there's a lot of people that choose to operate only within their own country. And more power to them. We want everyone to be able to use Cardsphere in the way that makes them feel comfortable, right? And then we try and lure them out. I'm sure you know that we have a badge system, which took a lot of convincing for Michael to understand the utility of it, because it was a challenging, big technical problem, and he solved it, of course. And now we have people that are badge hunters, and they look to get all the country badges, right?
Very cool.
So that's if you trade with somebody outside of your country, you get a different badge for wherever you're trading. Okay.
Yeah, and
we
that
have different
works,
badges countries.
Oh, that's
that
pretty cool.
works a little bit like a soft reputation system, right? So if you look at how much trade someone's done on Cardsphere, and you look at the kind of trades that they're doing based on the badges they've already achieved, you can sort of get a feel as to who that person is.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can see also, of course, they can put up profile notes, which can make or break someone in mail trading, as you guys probably know.
So is there a rating system kind of thing? Like after there isn't any type of rating after? Larry's shaking his head. That's why I'm saying.
No, there isn't.
Okay, so
yeah,
then
this has been kind of a topic that comes up pretty often for us. And because you don't get to choose who sends you cards on Cardsphere.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We kind of like every time somebody comes and asks us, and we'll say, well, what is exactly is the benefit if you're not getting, having only 3 people and 1 developer means we have to be very careful with where we spend our time.
Right.
So a lot of people say we need a reputation system. They say, but we say, you don't get to choose who sends to you. So what is the benefit there? And as a buyer, you're protected if you buy a card and it doesn't show up, as long as you have a account in good standing, you get refunded. So there's not really a benefit for that. So we have been looking for ways to do it.
But you have
the number of send and receive
number. That's what I was gonna say. You have
you can look at anybody's profile, and show how many they've sent and received. And like Ted said, you can get their badge, see what kind of badges they have. And stuff.
Okay.
And ultimately, if by the time someone would have negative reviews made of them in either
we've
role,
removed them from
they're already gone.
So how does that work with the shipping? If the condition you get a card isn't up to par or something like that, is it pretty easy to send back? Just you're taking a picture of it, or disputes, I guess, is my biggest thing, because that's what you guys are saying you also handle personally, which that's got to be that's got to be a pain in the butt. I mean, is it mostly card condition or is it shipping stuff? I'm guessing shipping lately, because shipping is just,
it's far and away it's card condition is the most common reason. Yeah, this shipping issues are pretty rare.
Okay.
I think total, I think, Ted, you can correct me, I think it's like 3% of all of our trades get disputed, and most of those are condition disputes.
2% are condition issues, and the remaining 1% is everything else, including lost packages, postage due.
Postage due is a big one. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
It's mostly all condition disputes. And to answer your question, we mediate the thing. So this is like on eBay, for example. It's really tough as a seller on eBay, because basically the buyer can just say whatever they want and eBay is going to side with them, and you're just out of
Yep.
Right. So
I know how that is.
So on Cardsphere, you get mediation from either me or Ted. We're the owners, and we mediate. We do all the mediation 100% of the dispute. So if a card gets lost, then the buyer has protection. That's true of any marketplace for any product, right?
Yeah.
The buyer, otherwise, why would anybody buy there?
Buy. Yep.
But either side can open a dispute. So on a condition, a buyer will open a dispute, and we require photos. We require a straight shot of both the front and the back of the card, because we found very quickly people like to take a real up close picture of a little speck on the card and say, look at this card. This is moderately playable.
It's fucked.
Yeah. I can't play with this card. It's not playable. So we say, no. Give us a picture of the full front, full back of the card. And then what we do is we have an anonymous voting system in our Discord. So If it's something that is not, I mean, we will look at a card and it's obviously not near mint, then we're going to say, hey, you should not have set this card as near mint. And then we can adjust the price. We could say, if the buyer wants to, I'll accept it as a slightly played, and the seller agrees, then we'll do that. And but
otherwise, the original sender, would be on the hook to pay for the card's return.
Yeah. So if you're sending cards out that are not near mint, that's a problem that we have. That we kind of caution people, hey, you need to be more careful with your grading, and then eventually they'll get removed. Yeah. So, but in the cases where the sender and the buyer can't agree, most of the time when we come in, they've already agreed. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't look at the back of the card. That's a common one. They look at the front, not the back.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll come in and make the adjustment. Sure. Yeah. We'll come in and make the adjustment they agree to. But if they don't agree, we ask for those pictures and we take them to our Discord, and everyone votes on them anonymously for 24 hours, and then we come back with the results, and that's what we use to make our ruling. So it's pretty fair and very transparent. You can go and look at our card and condition channel. All the votes stay up there, so you can go and look and get an idea of what the community has decided is near mint. And for me personally, I've found that I'm very lenient. I'm more lenient when receiving and very strict when sending.
Yeah.
If I see anything, I don't want any problems. So if I see a little spell, I'll just say, I'm just going to send this as slightly played. And send it out there. But when I'm buying, I really don't care because I just play with it. So
I think that's a good philosophy too. For
just sending. But the community has very different opinions that I do most of the time. So it kind of removes that bias that you might have from anyone who's mediating on the other side of the computer, because I don't just take my personal judgment and say no. This card is near mint. You're being too picky. I'll take it to the Discord and have the community, either agree.
That's kind of cool. I like that you have that little voting system on the side. Yeah, I mean, if all else fails, you have that going to mediate the whole thing, and it isn't you guys that is necessarily picking and choosing.
And it's not uncommon to have people who are overly picky with their condition, and there's people that just will take any, they want a piece PSA 10 mint card,
right?
And they'll find any little issue and dispute it. And sometimes we tell them, hey, if you're expecting a card that you can send for grading every time, we don't support mint as a condition.
Right, exactly. I was about to say that. It's near mint.
Condition.
It can have
not
big flaws, but
you might have to go to a place like an eBay where you can see a picture of the card beforehand and be happy with that.
Yeah.
And Cardsphere might not be for you. Unfortunately, we have to do that from time to time.
Awesome. Okay, so is there any more? I do want to get to one question for both of you guys, and this one's a little more CommanderSmith.
I know what you're doing. Yeah, okay.
So we have to do this with other guests that we have.
Hold on. Is there anything that you guys would like to address before we go to
this next part?
Silliness.
Anything we'd like to address?
Yeah, you guys have me sold. And to be honest with you, I was already going to jump on. Oh, no. I have a personal question.
Weren't. You've been saying that for 3 years.
That's what I was going to say. I just sorted my tattoo guys collection and building this house and all this.
Yeah, well, you don't only have to be on one place. Like eBay is really great if you're going to send if you want to sell a play set of cards at once, then that's a good place to do it. Sealed doesn't move a lot on Cardsphere because of the way it's reversed. And you have where the sender has to cover the shipping. So, sealed product, it's, it doesn't move that often. You might have to go to eBay or something like that.
So my question for you though, is when we talked years ago and Larry and I both were getting into this, Larry got into it more than I did. I uploaded my entire collection from Puka over, and I don't know how to delete it. Because I don't have those cards for trade anymore.
I can help you out.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. There's delete all section.
Yeah, there's a tab that says actions, and you can go and read it.
I think that's been partially my internally scared to get on there. I'm like, I have 5 hours of work of going through and deleting all these cards.
Yeah,
and I don't know if I have them
anymore. Yeah, I laughed when you said I imported our inventory from Puka Trade, because when we first started, there was a lot of bad blood between the two sites, right? And one of the things that they would commonly do that when we started, we said, we're not going to do that, was they would paywall things that would slow down the flow of cards. And then other things that were like and other things that were like also weird, like it was paywalled. To download your own inventory was paywalled. You could not do, you had to pay.
Silly.
So when
Just silly.
we started, our developer Michael, he made a little script for, I think it was for Chrome or Firefox, that would that, hey, just use this and you can go and export all your stuff.
That's how I did it. That's how I did it.
Oh, did
yeah.
you? Okay, well, that was our developer
something
Michael.
from you guys. I swear it was, because I went through and took it, like showed me step by step how to take it, and I uploaded it, and then haven't.
One thing that I don't think we've specifically addressed, I know we've kind of danced around it a little bit, is real money. And with one of the models that I know one of my friends has done for a period of time, and he's done other trades as well, but he was just sending cards and then cashing out. So he would just,
people do that.
Yeah. And we didn't specifically say that. So what are the rules to the cash out system? Because I think that can be enticing for people, not maybe, I don't know about a lot, but I mean, I think it's another angle that's really kind of nice. It's because honestly, it's better than trading into an LGS, because you're getting, I don't know, I'm old. The last time I tried to trade into an LGS, they were going to give me 30% and give me $20 for $60 worth of cards. And I was like, after this, and that's when I started trading. And I was like, that's not worth it at all.
Well, you have a lot of buying power on Cardsphere, right? Like even if you send at lower, you can also buy at lower. So if you're just going to sell, and when we started, we had a surprising amount of people that were just selling and taking their money, and we didn't expect it. We said people are not going to want to pay these fees, I guess, but people in Magic are just, I guess, accustomed to paying fees when they sell. So
I know.
so when you sell or when you send a card on Cardsphere, there's a 1% fee, and then if you're going to cash out and take your eBay payment, there is a 10% or $10, whichever is greater. So I mentioned earlier that we cover credit card fees when you cash in. So that's why we have that $10 minimum, because otherwise if people were just cashing out $10, it would just bankrupt us, because we're covering the fees.
I can't.
We're covering the fees when you're putting money in. So we have to make sure we don't lose money when people take money out. So that's why there's that $10 minimum. So we have people,
so it's essentially $100 at least on the cash out.
So and then because PayPal, they can kind of be shysters. I'm sure everyone has heard stories about PayPal, right? And when we moved over to it, we had a little scare because they locked our account and they said, hold on, what are you guys up to? This doesn't look, and we was like, oh my god, we just our company's ruined. We were panicking. and really they wanted to know what we were doing, so we just kind of typed it out, and they were like, okay, well, we never heard from them again.
Nice.
We've had that kind of experience a lot, actually, when we went to the Canadian equivalent of FinSec to check to make sure that we weren't enabling any kind of money laundering. So like Michael and I are at our day job at the, we're taking the timeout room to call the FinTrack is what it's called in Canada. And, we've made this appointment, and, the woman's like, and tell me again, what are people selling? And we're like, this is the only way to explain it. It's Pokemon cards, right? Yeah. And then she's like, okay, my nephew, he does that. And at the end of she got her like supervisor on the call, and by the end of the call, everyone was laughing and having a great time with the idea that we were even concerned. They're like, no, go run.
And they said we usually come looking for people don't usually come looking for us.
Yes, that was the big line. And recently, speaking of PayPal and our cash out and everything, as I'm sure you guys both know, the IRS has changed the 1099 miscellaneous, right? And so instead, where it used to be you could personally sell $20,000 worth of goods online before you reported, they brought that down to 600. So this was kind of an oh fuck moment for us.
Starting tax season 2023. So starting next year, you'll have to report. You'll be 1099 from PayPal or eBay. That tax.
Shit.
So
That's
what
pretty
I
low.
would
$600 is very low.
Yeah, no, that's really low.
That's like
It's
nothing.
pretty
It's
aggressive.
So if you sell on eBay, I think Cardsphere is a great place to
I might be
transfer over
switching
to,
over
so
in
that
the
you don't
next
have
couple
to
of years.
you don't have to worry about.
Well, this was another
taxes.
thing. This was another thing that
Uh.
we said, "Oh my God, this is gonna end Cardsphere." So we contacted an attorney here in the U.S.
Mhm.
and Michael had a meeting with him, and he explained, and he said, "Oh no, you don't have to 1099 people. That doesn't count." And Michael came back to us and said, "Well, that seemed too easy. I don't really trust that guy. Let's go find somebody else." So we contacted another lawyer and
We tried the Canadian side this time.
we had a big meeting with him, and that's where Ted was going. Is he came back and said, no, legally what you're doing is a barter, and because we cash out during PayPal, we can't also 1099 people, because then if let's say this year they sell cards and we 1099 them, then next year they cash out. Well, now they're being taxed twice for the same money.
Oh,
He says legally your service is a barter. So as long as people get 1099 when they cash out, then you guys are not responsible for 1099 people that on Cardsphere. You're running a barter system.
Yeah. So
so they would get a
this is
1099.
This is a CommanderSmiths exclusive.
Yeah, we haven't.
Time we're talking about it. in
Yeah,
public.
we've talked about in our Discord. We're like, hey guys, we're kind of shitting bricks over here because we think that we may have, if we had to 1099 everybody on Cardsphere that sold a card, it may have been the end for us, because there's only 3 people, we can only do so much.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but do you have to 1099 if they do cash outs, is what you're saying though? Like
no. Well,
PayPal
PayPal
does.
handles it.
Oh, okay.
PayPal.
PayPal handles that part.
Because
Okay.
they are already doing that for our customers that do more than 20,000. They reach out to us right away and they said, hey, you can't 1099 me, because last year PayPal 1099 me because we have a couple people that have LLCs that run entirely on Cardsphere.
Okay.
And so they came back right away when we started. We're very open with what's going on with Cardsphere in our Discord, and we're telling them, like, look, hey, our development is all stopped right now because we're dealing with lawyers and spending all this money. And right away they said, well, I already get 1099 from PayPal from you also. You guys can't also 1099 me on the site, because now I pay twice, and which is something we didn't even realize. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah. So because we send payment via PayPal, unfortunately, come tax time 2023, if you do a $600 total on PayPal, you're going to get a 1099, not just from Cardsphere, from anywhere. You're gonna get a 1099.
Sweet.
It's going to be an interesting time for us to watch the marketplace.
Yeah.
And see if
it
we're going to
sucks.
be able to track more people trading up, right?
Yeah.
Because this is my expectation, is that more people will start trading up to more expensive cards in place of cashing out via PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that triggered one thing. What's your guys' most expensive card you've seen traded on the site? Can you guys say? Do you know?
We published the data.
Yeah, they do.
Public.
Yeah.
Like I think we had a Tabernacle. Is that the most expensive? Like
I know this week, or like the top 10 of the last 10 days or whatever, is like a foil 7th edition Sulfurous, or the
Underground River. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. And I was somebody
we
sent
did have
that. That's awesome.
I know Tabernacle. I don't think a Black Lotus has ever traded. There have been pieces of power. There have been power frequently.
We've had some Moxes.
Yeah,
wow.
I think the Tabernacle might have been the most expensive. I don't remember.
And one of them, like last winter before locking down and everything, somebody from Canada sent me a Bayou, which was super awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so that was like, it's not something where it's like, people feel more free. Like I was saying earlier, like it doesn't feel bad to send or receive. And so you're getting kind of cards that you want, and you can be more specific or really wide in what you want on your list of sends or getting. And generally, like I can easily get $10 to $20 cards, which is way more difficult when it comes to that order, like deck box system, where you're going back and forth and everybody's trying to squeeze out the like absolute amounts of like value that they can get out of the trade.
Yeah.
Like here it's just like I'm sending and receiving.
Right.
And I know I've told this story on the podcast before, but like when I started trading, I was on MTG Salvation back at like Avacyn Restored, Return to Ravnica area. And I was trying to get duels because I just didn't have any. I was fairly, I didn't play during Revised really. And somebody was just like, well, $1 lightning bolts, you can't send out 100 of them. You're not going to be able to trade 100 of them to get $100 underground sea. And I mean, like I saw the concept and I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. I'm not going to be able to do that. But here, technically you can.
You can, yeah.
But you're just, 100 different people are getting different lightning bolts if that's what
Holy
market
crap,
is
the shipping
wanting.
on that though.
Yeah.
100 people.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
suggesting to do that.
Well, it's
but-
interesting because even now we kind of get like the criticism is like, well, I'm sure you could send all your draft chaff on there, but you're never gonna get duels on there. And then there's another crowd that says, well, of course you can send expensive cards, but nobody's gonna want all your draft chaff. Like there's like these two things.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
really I've found that the hardest thing to get is like just basic lands from a random set, because when I make commander decks, I like to have first of all, I have to have my basics matched.
Yeah.
You're
And
a
I like them.
matcher,
I am, and I like them to be on flavor with the deck. If the commander is from Ravnica, I like to have Ravnica lands, etc. Like I made a Negan deck, and I wanted to have. Well, I got the zombie swamp, but then I wanted to have some that looked like Washington. Yeah, the one to look like Washington D.C. Like what looks most like Washington D.C. That's where Negan's from.
Yeah.
So like that's really the hardest thing that I found, because a lot of people just don't take the time to have the basics.
That's
on
time
there.
consuming. For
Wait,
sure.
wait,
It
really
is-
quick.
it is.
You put effort into the basics. You hear that, Lowry? The basic lands. That's my thing too. Is I like to pimp out the basics. And
Yeah, me too.
do what you
I love
want.
that too.
So one
not-
thing, Adam, you talk about concerned about the shipping, but actually we kind of make it easy to recover those costs, because you can move a surprising number of tokens and if you put this stuff in,
right.
the system gets rid of it for you, right?
Yeah.
So if you can use one of the scanners, or if you can download the
Even just
CSVs from our
uncommons.
site,
Uncommons is a good way.
you can really get rid of a lot of this stuff. And
I know what I'm
we
doing
have-
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
what I like to do, I know we call it anchor sending. So
Yeah.
you'll go to your send page and here I'm sending this guy this $17 card because he's got a 90% offer for it.
Mhm.
I'll take it. Then you go to his profile and see what his
Find the other
Yeah.
little
bad
stuff.
offers are for he wants, I'll take 20 cents on a 50 cents
Right.
uncommon anytime if I'm already sending to him. So then I'll get up enough to cover my 55-cent stamp, or 58 now. And then I've covered my shipping by sending that card. Those cards that I would never been able to sell anywhere else for anything.
Yeah.
Right? They're not even buy listable.
Yep.
Well,
And
and,
that's
I'm
that's
sure by now Lowry has seen one of the traders sending out a single card on a stamp
People
that had
do that.
no
yeah.
business being sent out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
well,
People
that's
will send
probably
you- people
cheaper than the
that,
stamp.
that do it
Yes.
as a hobby. They'll send you a 15-cent card by itself in a
Doesn't
top
make
loader.
any sense.
If
I know it doesn't,
if
but it
I
happens.
can
God bless them.
message them soon enough, I go, please don't send that to me.
Yeah.
Package it with some like
There's
I've
some
done
people
it.
that just
They're
love
like, it's
to-
already shipped. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn it. But
Well,
yeah,
we had
I solved the problem one time because I looked up the person's receiving address, because it was just driving me bananas, right? And this was someone sending from the Netherlands as well, all over the world.
wow.
Like one swamp from Return to Ravnica, right? And I'm like, what is going on? And anytime we see something that is outside our normal sort of data set, we start getting curious, right? We have some fraud detection algorithms
Yeah.
that
Okay.
watch for strange activity, but we also rely on our community to tell us about weird shit. And
Mhm.
someone sending you a 25-cent swamp from Netherlands, the
Right.
Netherlands, when you live in Boston, that's some weird shit, right? So I look it up, and the mail address that they have to receive at is at a hotel. So I figure that person was using the hotel postage and was like working the night counter.
Oh,
and
just
emailing
sending
out
it out.
anything all
Yeah,
night.
the other thing is we had quite a few people from in the military sending because they get free
Yeah.
shirt fill,
Right,
so they'll
yeah.
do it. But it's funny when Ted says that because people are always like, I think someone's trying to pull a scam here. What do you mean? Well, they're sending me this 15-cent card, and that's all it's. Like, well, I don't really know how they can scam you for that. Some people just like doing it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lots of folks put in pack-ins and stuff like that too. And if you look at the top of our subreddit, you'll see a beautiful card from a now kind of famous user called Paper Tiger, and he does a lot of artwork.
Oh yeah,
a lot of
fantastic.
linoleum prints and stuff. Have you received something?
Oh,
from him, Mallory?
multiple. I just
awesome,
thanked him like a month ago when Modern Horizons 2 was hot. I was like, this is fantastic. Why do you do it? He was like, I just gonna do it. And I was like, awesome.
This is a
Because
hobby
I'm
for
like,
him. That's
this,
really
what
cool.
you do is fantastic. It's awesome. Yeah.
That's
He
sweet.
does like stamps of the guilds on it. He'll do art. He'll write on it. It's really cool stuff.
like
I
on the
appreciate it.
card or
Yeah.
No, he puts a piece of cardboard and then puts
oh,
the look. Ted's
that's
got one
really
there.
sweet.
He puts the card in the piece of cardboard and then he does like art on the inside, like word
Yeah,
art with
and-
the
Oh,
the
that's
markers
really
and
And
stuff,
he was
yeah.
into like he kind of, it was like a hobby that they did. And
That's
so
awesome.
it's really kind of cool. There are some characters where you can like return, like you start noticing people and their some tendencies on people that send a lot, and that's really cool when you can. I don't reach out a whole ton, but when you can just be like, hey, I appreciate you, and that's really kind of cool when you get to like kind of know them a little bit. So
Yeah. Well,
Paper Tiger's awesome.
Back before I was like officially part of the Cardsphere team, because I joined like after launch, but
Okay.
I used to have I mean the channel's still there, but I don't have time to really make videos anymore. I had a YouTube channel called Pack Crack Fever where I would open packs, obviously. And then my wife gave me the idea. She said, "Why don't you open your Cardsphere mail and do like Cardsphere hauls?" I was like, "That's such a cool idea." So I would do that, and then people would recognize my name, and so they would write stuff or draw pictures of that, like,
That's
"Hey,
awesome.
you too." And I have all those saved. Yeah, someone
That's
did like
awesome.
a real big picture of Emrakul one time, and when somebody sent me a heuristic study, and when I opened the paper inside, they had drawn Lumberg from for Office Space, and it said, "Yeah, if you can just go ahead and pay,
Nice. That's
pay
awesome.
the one."
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really fun community.
That's sweet. Okay, so do you guys have anything else before we get into the
The silliness.
not so
Okay, yeah.
serious? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have you guys heard of Fuck, Marry, Kill?
Yeah,
Okay.
big time.
So we have that question for you guys. You got three choices here: Liliana, Garuk, or Nicol Bolas. Fuck, Marry, Kill. Lowry, let's start with you, Lowry. What would you do, Lowry?
Liliana, Garrick, and Nicol Bolas. Okay, so obviously I'm gonna marry Garrick.
Because of his dong? Is that why, Lowry?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so then that's all right. So I mean, like,
Can you kill Nicol Bolas?
can I personally? Probably not. I mean, like,
You're
so
really
I mean,
thinking
like,
about this,
then you
Lowry.
want to fuck Nicol Bolas, right?
Well, you got to do it for the story, right? I'm gonna say F Nicol Bolas,
That's, so that's your choice.
marry
Yeah.
Liliana, and then kill Garuk.
I can't.
I'm gonna marry
Ooh.
Liliana.
Yeah,
That's a dark road, dude.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my jam. I like
Oh,
I
wait a
mean-
second. I guess Garrick and Nicol Bolas isn't necessarily
Yeah, like
right
Yeah,
guys.
it's no
either,
picnic
right?
over there.
Ah,
I mean, Liliana seems like the choice. She's cute, right?
She is probably the hottest
she's-
planeswalker out there.
yeah,
Nissa.
she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, she's got baggage.
She
And,
got
I mean,
baggage.
Clearly.
How often do you get a chance to have sex with a dragon? So I mean, you
Oh,
gotta
that's a
at
good
least-
point.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
you can do it for the
crap.
story.
Yeah, I mean,
A dragon god.
Look,
Yeah.
A dragon god.
you could play it off. You don't have to fully tell anybody about it. You could just be like, I rode the dragon, and
I would tell everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you talk, I would never stop talking about
That's
it.
right.
You know,
He'd get it on
I
an
got
altar
up on that
the
gem
top
of
the cards.
becoming, and I became.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, that probably does it. Where can people find you guys? Where can we find the site? Where are you guys? Twitter, everything like that. Give us your plugs here. What do you guys got here?
Well, our site is cardsphere.com. Our Twitter is real Cardsphere because there was something else called Cardsphere that's from Japan or something. Years ago. Yeah,
Didn't know that.
Cardsphere, so
4
Yeah,
followers for the Yu-Gi-Oh content from.
yeah, it was a
5 years ago.
Yu-Gi-Oh thing a long time ago. My personal Twitter handle is Packard Fever. I'm still on there, pretty active.
I can be found at Ted Rodney 2 on Twitter, and all other social I've eliminated. And I'm only Ted Rodney 2 at Twitter because Efren wouldn't let me use my real handle, which I'm not allowed to even speak.
You can't even say it.
I got in so much trouble.
It's too
Registered
perverse.
my own account. What are you doing? Efren is there to save me from destroying the company. I'm a really clumsy giant walking around, stepping on houses and breaking things. And Efren just sort of guides me with the help of our Discord moderators and
Nice.
Pixie Kitten and a few other people that all have various leashes on me.
Right on.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate you guys
Yeah, thank
almost
you guys.
daily.
Yeah.
I've taken a little break because I'm moving, but yeah, it's been constant for 3.5 years. I love what you're doing.
Awesome.
You have articles, the videos, and if you want to check it out, go check out their tutorials because that
They
is the right
help.
thing to do. Yeah.
Yes, they were very informative. So, well, thank you guys for joining. I guess maybe we'll catch you guys down the road a little bit. That was awesome.
Yeah, I hope so.
Awesome
It was a lot
meeting
of
you
fun.
guys.
Thanks for having us on. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Guys. All right. Well, that was Cardsphere. That was
that was Cardsphere on the line with us and doing
it's a real person.
very incredible things.
It is Efren
was
and
so
Ted.
nice.
That was awesome. That was a great interview.
No, they are Cardsphere combined. They're like Voltron.
When our powers combine, we become Cardsphere.
Not Voltron. What are you doing?
But yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that interview quite a bit. I learned some things. I like the more you know should have gone over my head for a little bit there. You knew all the stuff, but some of that stuff
I didn't. I thought the tutorials that they have up is genius.
Yeah.
I just never didn't look because
you're just doing your stuff. You already know how it
just
works.
doing my thing.
Well, and that's what I pulled those up because I was like, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing some things that I didn't know. And so those I went through and
yeah,
it's pretty sweet. So, but yeah, you guys can check those out. That was awesome that they joined us, and I'll keep you updated on what I do because I seriously will probably do that. And I mean, all you've been saying is good things about it. I mean, that's everybody on the Discord.
It's a
comes to.
fantastic experience. They've thought about how people want to be treated, and you could hear it in talking with them. They're going, well, this is something that we didn't really enjoy, so we made sure that was taken care of. And it really is just such a positive experience.
Yeah. To add on to that, I actually enjoyed the fact that they brought up the Puka trade stuff, that they both were involved with that. And that was kind of what got them to start what they're doing here, a better version of that, a more friendly version for everybody. So, okay. So that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Sega.
I love boobs, I'm talking tatas. I love boobs, I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs, thanks for the memories. I love